Hey guys, Myst-N here, bringing you a review on the Famas SE, which I got from Miss G Crate, which was gifted to me for Christmas. So thank you to the person who sent me that. I can't remember your name off the top of my head. You'll see it in the shoutouts at some point, or in the actually before this video, because I should have the Christmas footage of me opening all my lovely Christmas presents people sent me. So yeah, I thought I'd do a review on the Famas SE. It's actually quite a interesting gun to use, I must say. Simply for the fact that it doesn't have a silencer on it like every other Famas has, except, well, I guess the GP standards, but I never used the GP standards. It's a major 4 weapon, so it's a very high rank gun to get, and it's actually alright. I wouldn't necessarily hype this gun too much. It's generally the same as the standard Famas, which you can get, I think, pretty much as soon as you start. It's a very low rank weapon. The only difference between the two is that the Famas SE has 3 extra damage and 1 extra accuracy. It's exactly the same as the Famas G2, but in my opinion, the Famas G2 performs a lot better. The Famas G2, the NX standard, has a built-in silencer and a built-in scope, I do believe. Yes, it does. It has a built-in ITEC scope, and it seems to have a lot less recoil and higher damage than the Famas SE. While the Famas SE is pretty good, it's not the best out of the Famas. I mean, the Famas G2 SE is probably the best by far. Like, it's slightly better than a Famas G2. The Famas SE is probably a little bit better than a normal Famas because of increased accuracy and damage. But the recoil basically stays the same. It still doesn't have a built-in scope. It's got no silencer. So you still got a pretty low-rank weapon, in my opinion. The gun is good for close range. It's alright for long range because it does have pretty good accuracy and controllable spread. Definitely has controllable spread. The spread's pretty much straight up and down. For those of you that use the Famas G2, the NX standard, the Famas SE is very similar in how you can control the recoil and the spread. You can kind of see the size of the spread on the crosshair on the screen. I don't know if it'll show up on YouTube, but it does get pretty controllable. Close range, this gun is actually really good. It's great for headshots. It's generally a 4 to 5 hit kill, but if they're further away or they're wearing a heavy vest or any kind of protection, you're definitely looking at about 6 to 7 hits to kill them. If you do get this gun, I would recommend putting an extended clip on. Your reload speed is going to dramatically slow down because of that, because it's got slow reload speed as it is. As you can see, it's quite slow for an assault rifle. Portability isn't too great either. It's got 60 portability, but I don't think that's actually accurate. The portability is probably a bit higher than that, because I'm wearing I'm plus 20 speed, minus 5 for the backpack, and it's slowing me down considerably. If you get the gun and you don't have any decent assault rifles, definitely use it. I mean, by all means, play with the gun a bit. Ow! That hurt. I actually think that guy was chamming, because I think he chammed Derek up the top, but I'm not sure. He could have seen him. Could have seen his feet through the thing. We do get a bit suspicious, but he does rage at the end of the game, so probably welcome hacking. Yeah, as you can see, very controllable spread. It is great for long range, but it does take quite a lot to kill. The damage is definitely less than a Famas G2. I just remembered part of this game because I scoped in on someone and I fired for the normal amount of time I would for a Famas G2, and they didn't die. And when I fire with a gun I always assume they're wearing a heavy vest, and I have to shoot them more times than is usually necessary. And he didn't die, so that happened a few times, so the damage is definitely less. All in all, it's an alright gun. Probably give it a 4 out of 10. It's not nowhere near the best gun in the game, but it's nowhere near the worst either. I mean, it's nothing like a freaking K7. Do not get me started on that gun, or the MP5 Raz. I would use this over any of those guns. But in saying that, there are guns that are much better than this, such as the Rec 7, or even the standard Famas, I think, has better portability. And because there's not a great difference between them, I would actually probably go for the lower rank rather than this one. Simply for the portability factor, because it is more portable, it is lighter. Even though the stats say they're exactly the same, they're not. But then again, you do have the damage. So, I don't know. Guys, use your judgment on this one. If you get it and you like it, great, use it. But it's not that great. Don't be hitting like Major 3 and going, oh my god, next rank I get to get this gun, because it's not worth it. In a nutshell, guys, the Famas SE is definitely not one of the best assault rifles in the game. It's not one of the worst, but it's not that great either. It's a Major 4 weapon, GP standard, which means for a high rank gun, it's actually quite bad. I wouldn't be hitting Major and getting excited over getting this gun. It's definitely not worth it. The damage is increased. It's the same as all the NX variants of the Famas. So it's got 39 damage. The GP standard low rank Famas, just the Famas itself, is 36 damage. But while the portability is the same across all the Famas series, I think the GP standard low rank Famas is actually better than the Famas SE. I think it has higher portability. So if you're going to be speeding around, I think the normal Famas is probably going to be a bit better. Red fire 74, so you definitely fire quite fast with this gun for an assault rifle, but it can be quite slow in a reload, so that's a major drawback to its high fire rate. The accuracy is increased. It's the same as all the NX variants. Has 85 accuracy. Actually no, the Famas G2 SE has 86 accuracy, while the Famas low rank GP standard is 84. 68 recoil, same across all of them, and they all have the same firing mode, which is automatic. Not a gun I'd be excited over, but definitely if you haven't got anything else to use it, because it's better than a normal Famas, I guess, in the way of damage. Don't put an extended clip on it, even though you probably need one. An extended clip is going to slow the reload down way too much, so unless you're camping, it's not going to help you that much. The reload on the gun's actually quite slow, so use your judgment on the gun. If you don't like it, don't use it. If you do, play with it for a bit, but it's not a gun I would get too stoked over, because it's not that crash hot. Anyways guys, hope you enjoyed this review, and stay tuned for some more videos to come later.